Hello, and welcome back to the Thursday Night Kissaten podcast. Thursday Night Kissaten is a podcast that we talk about Japanese TV shows, movies, books, and other pop cultures. We update weekly every Thursday night around 5 p.m. This podcast is written and hosted by me, Cordelia. How are you doing, my dear listeners? Can you believe that the summer is ending and the fall is already at our doorstep? I feel like I haven't done so much this year, and now it is already coming to an end. The holidays are coming, Christmas, Thanksgiving, everything. Did you know that the dark time of the night is just before the dawn? Depicts how depressed we might feel. We humans are remarkable in our own ability to find the hope even in our darkest moment. This is who we are: adaptable, strong, and flexible. So today in this episode, we're going to talk about a novel all about the dawn. 夜明けのすべて by the writer Maiko Seo. Trigger alert: in this episode contains discussions about mental health, PMS, panic attacks, depression, and suicide. I thought there's nothing that I could do, but there's one thing that I can do. This says by Misa. Misa, who struggles to control her irritability due to the monthly PMS. She has this since she was in high school and was not able to control herself at work, so she left one of the companies she was working and ended up in a small company outside the big city. And at that small company, she ends up taking out all her frustration on another coworker, Yamazoe, who is a recent transfer who seems unmotivated all the time. Yamazoe, on the other hand, has developed a panic disorder and lost both his motivations and also the purpose in life. Though neither feels friendship or romantic towards to each other, these two individuals start to believe that even if they can't cool their own problem, they might be able to help each other. Life is harder than expected, but the solutions are always around us. So this novel tells us a gentle story that makes life a little easier to bear, and is one of the few novels that actually touches on the mental health in Japan. Let's talk about the writer first for a little bit. So the author of this book, Maiko Seo, was born in 1970s in Osaka, and now she lives in Nara. She graduated from Otani Women's University with a degree in Japanese literature, and she was debuted in 2001 with her novel, The Court of the Eggs. Seo has won many literary awards, and most of her works will focus on families, but not just those related with blood, also heavily focus on those chosen families. She has an interest in the interaction between people beyond the family, and she enjoys reading about those connections. For example, her novel So Ste Bado wa Wata Soleda, and So the Button is Passed. But in this book, all about the dawn, it's also about the supportive relationship between Misa and Yamazoe, without any romantic feelings, but also like a chosen family, supporting each other to overcome the daily challenges with the mental health. As a reader myself, I love the story shows that romantic love is not a solution for every problem in life. A platonic relationship between opposite gender is real, and support from other people can be one of the solutions or to help someone to get through the life. It doesn't have to be romantic love. This is kind of new, but platonically, it's natural and organic and shows the nature of human beings, the way of form a community. There is an interesting part of the book where Yamazoe questions Misa about how she can compare her PMS with his own panic disorder. This suggests that one shouldn't use their hardships to measure others, because they are never the same. Really? Well, I have to say that projecting our own experience onto others is not ideal, of course. But however, if we look into the layers of emotions, sometimes experience resonate with each other. For example, someone who has never been in love, let's say this person never developed any romantic attraction towards another person. So we may assume that this person will never fully understand the end of the romantic relationship feels like. But this person knows the feeling of the grief when a vital person leaves their life. It's relatable, but of course not 100% the same. Of course, there's no measurement of pain. And also, there is no ranking to say whose life is harder, and allowing someone to use this as excuses to mistreat other people and to question other people's experience. My life is hard. My life is harder than yours, so I deserve to be treated better, and I'm allowed to be an asshole. No, that's not what that is. I hope this is not hard to understand, but it is not everyone's fault for having depression or any other challenges in life. But it is our responsibility to manage it and not let it to ruin us. In the story All About the Dawn, Yamazoe starts reading books and researching PMS to better understand what Misa is dealing with. And even volunteering to help her at work, he apologized for his statement and moved on to learn more. On the other hand, yes, ideally, we should help ourselves. But on the other side, sometimes we are too injured to do so. And if we generously care about someone or our fellow humans, we too can give each other some help or a lift. Just like Yamazoe and Misa, what they did for each other in the book, that they even joke about how they could just use their mental health issues to be rude to others, to avoid things that they don't want to do. I think this is the funniest part of the book, the way how they joke about each other. They laugh about it, but neither uses their mental health as excuses to be an asshole, to be rude, to hurt other people. They make their best effort to deal with it, just like many people around us, how they do it. It is not easy, and it's never easy. Also in the story that Misa once asks Yamazoe if there's any good outcomes from dealing with the panic disorder or his mental health issue. Yamazoe doesn't reply immediately, but Misa says that her body became so flexible because of the yoga she does to reduce the cramp during her period. I think many of us can relate. What are the good outcomes of dealing with poor mental health? I guess it is the urge to see the dawn and the daylight, or let's say, maybe to learn about ourselves better. For Yamazoe, that he says that no matter how many times that the panic attacks happens, it still scares him a lot. His body and brain never gets used to the panic moment. They bring fears, bring distance between himself and his ex-girlfriend, co-workers, and his previous life, the city, the beautiful apartment that he had. But he learned that about himself more deeply and connected with his own body more. And hear what he said, he gains a new life. Not a flexible body, but a deeper connection with himself. Do you know the darkest time of the night is just before the dawn? Depicts how depressed we might feel. We humans are remarkable in our ability to find hope even in our darkest moment. This is who we are. Let's say if there's no daylight, many creatures would not be continued. But if there's no nighttime, we would never pay attention to the world beyond the earth. Thanks to the dark night, we can extend our imagination beyond the horizon. And sometimes we even hope the night could last longer, so we could gaze at the sky forever. The dark and the silent help us to connect with the world and ourselves, because sometimes the daytime is too noisy. The earth keeps spinning and running, no matter how we want it to be. It never stops for us, and will never create equal amounts of the day and night. So there is no way to measure others' life. There is no way that we can say that who has a lighter or who has a heavier or harder life. All our experience will never be the same. Just like the days and nights that we experience on the different corners of the world. However, the dawn, that moment, is the same and unchangeable. Let's say whether this is a happy day or a sad day, it all will end. And then the dark night, and then the dawn, the hope, and the wish for things to get better. We all know this. The PMS, the panic disorders, the depression, all the rest won't magically disappear suddenly. Just like the nighttime, it won't. The earth is spinning, never stop. But just like the nighttime, it does get shorter, and then longer, and then shorter, and then longer again. There is no single solution or a linear end for both Misa and Yamazoe. And I know this is something that bothers a lot of Western audience about the East Asian way of storytelling, like there is no ending, and against the Western ideology that for everything must have an ending. But let's say that life has no ending. And being vague is a part the truth of the life. Their lives simply go on like ours, and facing the sunlight and the day night, and then just like we do. Sometimes it is okay that we don't have a solution. Sometimes it's okay that we don't have an ending, because life goes on. Thank you for listening for this episode. This episode is written by me, Cordelia. I will speak to you soon in our next episode.